So yesterday we were doing the edit part, and today is November 30. So we'll continue with the Crud operation. Okay. Let me increase the size. So let's start with the edit part. So we are getting this, I'm getting this warning that history and ID are missing in the dependencies. When I go to edit part, I have ID and I have history, which I'm passing here. Here I'm passing ID also and history. So whenever we have the variable in the use effect, which comes from the outside of this function, it needs the dependency. So if I'm using ID, I should be able to pass the ID here. So I'll be passing parameter ID here, and another parameter I'll be passing history. So that way I will not get that dependency. So let's see now. Okay, let me check the terminal. Okay, so this will fetch that warning when I pass the ID and history here, and I'll be able to fix that one. And when I submit the form, I again query the table and I get the post, and based on the post I create this post set variables, that is post.set content, location, and whatever fields I have, I will use that, and then I'll save that value in the post. So this let me change this edit page, and when I click the button, let me change it to update. So we have this one. This one is table content, and all the records are there. When I click the edit, I can see the content here, and let me change some content. Let me change this to Livermore 4 and update it. So once I update it, I will see this is a 4 coming here. So this is all about the edit part. Let's go to the detail and delete part. Sorry, this one. So let me create a new file called as detail.jsx, and I will also create a new file called as delete.jsx. So detail is exactly same as edit. The only difference is that detail we only display it, we don't allow to update, whereas in the edit we allow to edit. Let's create the routing for both of them. I'm on the detail page. I'll say RFCE. Before adding in the routing, I have to create this component, otherwise routing will give the error. and this is my delete page. I'll create, like I created edit part, I will create two more routes, one for delete detail page and one for delete page. So it will call, this one will call delete component and this one call detail component, and I have to call these two components here. Okay, so I created two components. Now let's go to do the detail component. So detail component will be also like similar to edit one, where I have to take parts in the detail. I don't right now. I'll not take this alert and loading. That one is on submit. We use it, so I'll not use those two. Let me see what other I can take. Okay, so I don't need any other thing. I want this user, current user. I'll go to detail and I'll take the user. Let me delete this part. I need the table name, so table name should be mentioned here. Next will be the initial data. So initial data will remain same because we have to display these two data on the page. Though we don't use form in the detail page, but we'll take this variable to display. And I don't want to change the name. I can change the name, but I don't want to change the name right now. Then we get the ID and history. Let's take these two. ID and history. Okay, let's go further. So we also have to grab the data from the Firebase. Once I get the ID and history, so I'll copy this use effect, and in the use effect I query the table name, and detail page can be seen by everyone. It's not only the user who wants to see this, so I will remove the user part. And if I don't get the result, I redirect user to another page, and if I get the result, I will update the form values with the new results. The only thing is that user ID, I don't need user ID because detail page can be seen by anyone, and that's the reason I removed it. So one way is to get this one, and I will show you another way also to, if I have only ID, so there is another way also to get that one. So we'll see that in a bit. Okay, let's go further down. Okay, so this is fine. So we have everything in the form values. Let me print that form value here in the detail page. And let's go to home page. Here, like I have edit one, I will make it similar for the detail one and similar for the delete one. Link, I create the link with the 2, and 2 for delete is delete, and 2 for detail is detail. So I give the link to all the 3. Let's check now. Okay, let's check this now. Okay, props is not defined in the detail page. Let's add the props. So here props are missing. Okay, I got this page. Let me go to detail page. So in the detail page, we are in the detail page. So though display, we are not done the display, but I'm getting the form value object with the content and the location. So we got the detail page. And I will okay, let's display the detail page now for now. So let me go here. I will create another H1 tag or H3 tag, detail page, and then I have to check the value is there or not. So to check the value is there or not, one second. Let me write down first the detail content and location, and then I will put the check condition also. So let's create another div tag, and here first thing I will be showing the location. I'm just putting few div and label will be showing the condition. Location, this is the location, I'll be showing it here. And here I have to say form values dot location dot formatted address. So this is the location part. I created one div, another div, another div. I put the location and the value. Let's copy this and paste it again. Here I will show the content. It will be form value dot content. Since this one will be HTML part, so we need to render the HTML content here, which I will do in few minutes. Okay, so I'm getting the location, but content is something I'm getting in the HTML1. I need to render this HTML tag. And to render the HTML tag, we have used one of the application. And what is that? What is the thing which we use for the render the HTML? It's called the React Render HTML. Let's see the document of React Render HTML. So to use this React Render HTML, we will import the React Render HTML, which I will import now. Import render HTML from React Render HTML, and then I have to display it like this. So I have to display like this. Let's grab this one. So I took the variable and put inside the render HTML to display the content. Okay, so now content is coming with render HTML. Only the thing is spacing. Before content, I need some spacing. So let me fix that spacing part. Here I'll say style equal to margin top 20 pixel. Let's put this styling here, and let's put this for this also. And on the content, I will put font weight equal to bold. The label should be little bit bold so that it should be differentiated from the other content. Okay, so this is the location and this is the content which we are displaying it. Let's go another one. Let's go to detail. I'm seeing the location and I'm seeing the content. This is all about detail page. If we have more field, we will be displaying more content here, and that's how we will render the detail page. Okay, so this is all about detail page. Let's go to delete page. Okay, before that I need to put the condition, because I told you that I want to show this detail page only if I have the value, because still we get something from the backend. We just show this as empty value. Okay, so we can do one thing. We can also set the ID here. In the ID, I will say results.id. Let's add ID also in the initial data as null, and then we can check if ID is there or not. So here I can check if not form values.id. If ID is not there, then I'll return null. So initially, if we don't have any data, we are returning the null. And once we get the data, we will display the data. So now if I refresh, so I'm not displaying till I get data. Once I get data, I am displaying it. And since user is not used here, we can delete the user. The detail page is not dependent on the user, so we have to delete the user. So deleted the user. Okay, so this is about the detail page. Let me remove the console statement. Okay, so we are done with this detail part. Let's go to the delete one. So delete one is also similar to detail page or edit page. The only thing is here we have to delete the record. So let's fill the delete part. So I'll first import the parse kind of thing. I also need, let's call this alert and loading also in the delete one. And I also need the user because I want to delete for the specific user. Okay, so we got the delete user also. Let's take this as a props. And from this edit part, I'll take the table name. I'll take the initial data. And I'll take this form value, error, loading, which all will come in the delete part. I'll remove the line, the one which I don't need it. Right now I'm trying to copy from the edit one. I need ID and history. I'll take that one also. And on the page load, I need the data. So I'll take this use effect part also. Okay, so I took the use effect also. Okay, now let's fill the let's use this the ID part also. So I will check this ID also. Initial data ID. Let me put that also. And once we get the results, I will add that ID also here. So this ID is only for the purpose to display on the page or not, based on the ID is there or not. This ID will be exactly same as this ID, but this ID comes on the page load, and we don't want to do anything on that one. So we have to use this ID here. Okay, so this is about the form value on the page load. Let me copy the detailed part again here. Let's take the, if we don't have ID, I'll not show anything. And I'll copy the content of the detailed page here on the delete part. I'll just mention the delete. Okay, let's see how it looks now. Okay, render HTML is not defined. We have to add that render HTML part. Okay, so let's go back and click the delete. So we're on the delete page now. So instead of so here, in addition to showing the detailed part, we also want to give the user ability to delete the record. Let's go to the React Bootstrap and get the model, because I will create a button, and on clicking of the button, I want a model to appear where I will show that you want to delete this record or not. So I'll go to this model. So model will be like this. So when I click model, so here I will give the user the confirm box whether he wants to delete or not. So I want something like this. And to build this kind of model, I have to create this constant value called as show and set show, which is initially false. So let's create this variable constant show and set show, because we have to display the model. I have to create two buttons. One is handle close and handle show. Two functions. Sorry, we have to create two functions, handle close and handle show. When I click the close, it will call the set show equal to false. When I say handle show, it will say set show equal to true. So it will make true and false for these two variables. And then I need a button which I will click, which will show the model box. So here, after my div, I will write another button, and here I will say delete this record. I'll just say delete this record. I'll create a button, and since I'm using the button, I have to call this button from React Bootstrap. So here I'll import button, and I'll also import model from React Bootstrap, and I'll copy this model part here. After button, I'll copy the model part, and this model part will be shown when I click this button. And when I click this button, I call the handle show, and handle show will set the show to true. And once it is true, this model will be shown. Okay, use state is not there because I use the use state, but we have to use the react.use state. Okay, so we got this one, and I'm asking the user whether you want to delete this record. If I say yes, a model will come. Here I will show the confirmation text kind of thing. And if user will click the save changes, I will delete the record. Okay, so we'll do like that. Let's go in the model and change the title to delete, and here I can say delete. Do you want to delete this record with ID? I'll just give the ID to the user whether he wants to delete this record or not. So ID is coming from the URL. It's a variable, so I put as a variable and I put a question mark. Okay, I don't need. Okay, in the footer I have button, so let it be. So one I will say cancel, don't delete. So when user will click the close, I will not delete anything. And when user will say yes, delete the record, delete it. So when user will say yes, I need to call my function where I will delete the record. So in addition to these two functions, I will create another function also, and will delete. And in that, I will write down the code how to delete it. But for now, I will just say set show equal to false. So I'll just hide it now. But in few minutes, I'll write the code to delete it. So when I call this yes delete it, I will call the function handle delete. Let's say. So right now, when I click cancel, it's not it's just closing this model. And here I am showing the message, do you want to delete this record with ID this? And when I click yes, delete it, right now it will close the model, but I will write a code to delete it in a bit, and then I'll close it. So I have to close it also, but I have to delete it first and then close it. So let's delete it now. Okay, so delete will be, like in edit what we did, we call something like this. So let's do something like this. I use asynchronous here, and I'll first copy this edit part. Okay, so let's copy this edit part. Okay. So let me close this. Let's close this one, model one. So here I am calling the query where I'm getting the table name and I'm passing the object ID. So for this object ID, I need to get the data, and user who is the logged in user, I want the data for that one, and I get this post one from the backend database. I don't need to update it, so I will delete this part, but I need to I don't need also to save it because I need to delete it. So save is for only update or insert. I only want to delete it now. So to delete it, I will call await post.destroy. So this is the thing where we can destroy the post. So this is the part we use to destroy the post. And once post is called, the post will be deleted, and then I can go and to another page. So this way we delete it. We get the data for the current ID, and then we delete it. Okay, so this is how we delete it. Let's test it now. So I am on the Livermore. Once I click delete, it will ask me this confirmation. If I cancel it, I am back on this page. And if I click this yes, it will call the delete part and I will be redirected to the home page. So once I click delete, I was redirected to home page. Let's delete another one. See, I'm getting deleted. Say, let's say delete Delhi city. So I'm able to delete it. So this is how we delete the record and we go back to the back page. Right now, if I'm on the first page also, if I go to second page, I delete it, I'll be redirected to the first page. But that's fine for now. If you want to be on the second page also, then you pass the second page parameter also on the delete page. And then when you come back, you will be you will be able to go to second page also. But for now, it's okay. We are going on the first page. Okay, so this is all about the delete page. So we are done with the edit, delete, add, and display, and search box, and the live query. So this will be the basis for all the future projects which we will do. So it is better you repeat this project again and again, because all our future project will be based on this project, and I will be trying to copy paste from this project only. So if you have already done it, you can also copy paste it. So if something is there which I have written already here, I will try to copy it and paste it rather than writing the whole code again. So this is how we will be doing it. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay, let's take in the terminal if we are getting any warning or something, we can fix that. Okay, so we are getting warning in the delete. So we are using, we created this one, error and loading, but we are not using it. That's the reason its warning is coming. Okay, let's try to fix that one. So we are using error and loading, but we are not really using it. We just created the variable. So let's use that one. So I can copy from edit part. Let's copy from edit part to display it. Okay, let's copy from edit part to display it. So I copy this part and I'll put in the I just put error and this display part, and also I will make this model close when we have some error. Let's put it in the error part also. So now let's check. So now I'm not getting error and I'm getting this correct. So let me delete it again, this one. Okay, so I deleted many of the records. So we can delete like this. And if any other user tries to delete the record, he won't be able to delete it because of the ACL. When we created this record at JS, we put the ACL, and ACL was only the user who created the record can delete it. So by any chance, if some other user tried to delete it through hacking or anything, he won't be able to delete it because of this permission. Okay, so there is another doubt one person has doubt that since we are logged in and I try to go to auth page, I am still able to see the information here. Since I'm logged in, I should not be able to go to this page. I should be redirected to home page once we are logged in. So let's fix that one. And to fix that, if you see, every time I use this one to redirect to another page, so we will take use of this one in the auth page. So let's go to the auth page again. In the auth page, so anything which we have to do on the page load, we have to do on the use effect part. And now I will write down the use effect here. So I'll say react.use effect. And here I will be having the arrow function. And since I have to call only once when the page load, I'll pass this empty array now. Okay, so I pass the empty array here. In this use effect, I have to check if user is logged in or not logged in. And to know whether user is logged in or not logged in, we have this parameter user equal to pass user.current. So here I will say user, I'll make the constant user pass user.current. And if we don't get the user, then I redirect it to the home page. If I get the user, if the user is logged in, then only I have to redirect it. If user is not there, then I don't have to redirect it. So if user is there, that means user is already logged in. So I have to redirect it to the home page. And to redirect to the home page, first I'll take this history because I have to push the user into the home page. I'll say history equal to props.history, and I'll pass this history in the array like this. And if user is already there, I will just say history.push, and I will redirect to the home page. So this way, if the user is logged in, I will get this value as a true, and I get the user information. And if we have the user information, I will push the user to the home page. And if user is not logged in, this user will be empty, and I will not push the user to the home page. Now let's test it. So I will change the URL to auth again. So you will see the user is redirected to home page. You will also see a bit of small few seconds of the page before it redirects to the home page. That also can be prevented by this. I can move this user to maybe at the top, and here I can say before I render something, I can say if user is there, then return null. So here also I can say if user is present, I will return null. So the page will not even load, and you will not be able to see any content also. So now if I go auth, you will not see any content, and user is redirected to the home page. And if I log out, okay, so logout is giving error because okay, let's fix the logout part. So we are getting the error of this use effect. So let's see what. Okay, let's move this constant user to inside of this function, because if I kept it outside, it may be creating problem. Let's take putting the user inside the function, and let's try the logout again. Okay, now if I go to auth page, so I am redirecting to the home page. If I click logout, okay, now I'm inside the auth page. So when I was keeping the user outside this function, so even though I was logged out, but the variable was already in the memory and it was not fetching it again and again. So if we put this user inside the function, then we will be able to achieve the result. Okay, so now let me log in again. And if I try to log in, go to auth page, I am redirecting to the home page. So this is if you want to, stop the auth page from displaying. Now I am getting this use effect dependency error, dependency warning, because I am using the user inside. So let's put the user also as a dependency. So we'll not get that dependency part. Okay, so now I'm not getting any dependency error. So this is all about this Crud project, which is very important. And once we start other projects, we'll take use of this project, and we will be doing now some other projects every day, because this part is done. Now only we have to do copy paste in most of the projects. Okay, so that's it. Now let's do one more thing. So try to do this project again and again, because this is the basis of all the project, and we'll be using this too many times. We'll be using this project as a main basis for doing the other project. Okay. So we have to do a lot of projects. So I'll just type few of the project type, how we will be doing different projects. So type 1. Type 1 is, okay, let me write down in Visual Studio so that I have something here. So we have different type of project. So in one type of project, we will just get the data and save it in DB. So for example, so what are the different projects? So if we are building something like to-do app, here what we used to do, we just get the data, that is the input, and just we save it in DB and display it on page. So this is very simple. Just get the one line of text and save it in the DB. So this to-do app is simple. Just get one data, not even location. Just get the data, save it in the DB, and display it to the user. So this is a very simple project, which we can say type 1, where we just get the data and save it in the DB. No difficult thing, nothing. Just we get the data and save it, and we display the all the to-do items which I have. You can also have similar one as a shopping list. So if you're building something a lot shopping list, it will also have the input. And you can also give the checkbox that whether you have bought that item or not bought that item. But it is also simple. We are getting the two fields. We are saving in the database and displaying both the fields. But it is same type. Just get the data and display it. Shopping list. Another one will be like to do. What to do I have to do? I can have things I like to do in future or things I like. This is also similar to do app. Okay. Similarly, we can have multiple like this. Just so a lot of projects which we will do will be on the type 1 because we just have to gather the data and we have to display it to the user. And in all these three, these will be the personal things, and it will not be shared with anyone. So when you create the ACL for all these three, the ACL will be write permission will be also to the user, read permission will also be the user. So public cannot see the data. Only the user who has created the record, he can only see the record data. So in this we will be building like that. Another thing will be personal history. So let's say whatever things I do every day and I want to save that, I can use this one. So I can also put location in this. I can put description, whatever we did currently in the Crud project, and then I can save it. And then I will give permission also. Here I can give permission. Whether some history I want to display it to the other users, the permission will be public or private. So if you make it public, it will be displayed to everyone, and if you make it private, it will be displayed to you only. So this personal history, let's say you go for a trip, you make it public so that other people can see your images and see your what you did on that particular date. Here we have date also, the date what you did on that date. So something you can build a personal history, and if it is private, you did something but you don't want to share that with anyone, so you can make it private and then only you will be able to see it. This is a type 1 kind of project. We will be like, I'll be writing more kind of type 1 project, and we'll be doing all those projects again. Another type is type 2. It's kind of, we have the post and then we have the comment, something like that. So this is the relation of post and comment kind of feature. So we have the post and there are the comments for it. So this one will be, like a blog. You're building a blog where people can post the content, and other people or other users can comment on it. Okay, so this is kind of the blog post you can build with this kind of type, and this is slightly complex than the first type because here you are creating the two tables. One is the post and the comment, and you have some relation between these two. So that is the reason it is called a post comment, and blog is one of the feature for that. You can also build kind of called as what you call as discussion board, where you can also have the multiple level of commenting. So first type will be only just comment on it. Second type you can have unlimited or 1 or 2 levels of commenting. Unlimited levels or 1 or 2 levels of commenting, depend on your requirement. So with this type you can build something like that. You have post and then you have comment, and people can comment on the comment also. So you have comment 1, you have comment 2, and another person can comment on comment 1. So you can have comment 1, and you can also have comment 1, 2, and similarly you can have comment 2, 1 and 2, 2. This is the one level of comment. Like in Facebook, we have the post, and then you have the comment, and the user can comment on this comment one. But you can go to unlimited level also. You can have another comment for this 111. So depend on your requirement, you can build only one level or you can have multi-level commenting. So this is kind of the type 2 projects which we can do. And there are type 3 projects. In the type 3 projects, you have some status. For example, you create a project. For example, if you see the freelance site, freelance.com. So what they have, people can create the project and other people can bid on it. Okay, bid on it. And if you like any project, any bid, you can assign that task to that user. Okay, so this type of project is something like that, where we have a status. When you create the project, you have the status of open, that it is open for bidding, and people then can come on bid on it. So once they bid it, you will get bid 1, you get bid 2 for this one, and so on. And then once you like particular bid, let's say bid 2, you can change the status to close and assign the winner to bid 2, for example. So this is a project where we always change the status from 1 to 2. This is also called as workflow project. Workflow, where you change the status of the posts. So this is a type 3 kind of project which you can build. And if you go with the e-commerce project, e-commerce is something, creating of the e-commerce is of the type 1. Okay, so we have the e-commerce also. You can create the products here. Create the products using this. It may be 1, 2, or 100 fields. It doesn't matter. So you can create the products. But in the e-commerce, user can buy the product also. So buy is also of different type. If you build like Amazon.com, then there are different people who create the products. And when you buy it, so you have to manage that some person has bought it for this owner, so that person will be directed to that owner. So it depends on how you try to build the project, but this part is common. That is, creating the product is like type 1. Then we have the complexity, who can buy the product. Or if the owner is only the creator of the product, no other person can add the product, then it will go to definitely to the type 1. And you just create the product and people can buy it. So you have to just build additional logic of putting into the cart and checkout, and that's all you can do it. Then you also can integrate to different payment system depending on what you need it. So all these things comes in the e-commerce part. If we want to build a chat application, so it will be similar to the type 1, but here we have to create the live query subscription model. As I showed you in the Crud, we have the live queries. So in the chat application is of type 1, but you have to add the additional logic of the live query. So I'll be finding all this type 1 type of the project now, and I will do only one, and from you I will assign it to do the other projects, and everyone will get different project. So they have to complete that different project. So tomorrow I'll give you assignment, whoever will be online. So maybe I will do one to do kind of thing, and then rest I will give you to you. So you have to complete that. So it will be similar to what I have done, and you have to do similarly other projects. So if I have 10 projects, I will be doing one, and 9 projects will be done by you, and you have to share your Git repository so that everybody can see what you did it. So that's how we will move forward, and we have to do other problems also. So tomorrow we'll do problems also and object-oriented JavaScript also, which we missed since 3-4 days because of this Crud project. So that's all for today. Any questions?